how to set up your My Publishing Assistant book management plugin. If you're starting off on the dashboard, go to Publicist, click on Setup. You will see a list of things you have to do. You start with the first one, which is languages. This is where you put in which language you'll be working with. So if you're just doing in English, you'll leave it as is. If you're doing other languages, such as Dutch or German, you would click on here and then click Add Languages. We are currently going to just leave English, so we're moving on to the next one. Next is vendors. This is where you enter the retailers that you sell your books at. So I will type in Amazon. And on Amazon, after choosing a vendor, you have to then choose what type of media you sell there. I will uncheck paperback hardcover, and I'll leave both ebook and audiobook there. I will go ahead and include Google Books. And I will uncheck everything but ebook. I'll hit Add Vendor. And then I'll add one more, which will be Barnes & Noble. And for Barnes & Noble, I will uncheck everything but ebooks. And you can hit Add Vendor or you can hit Save. Notice on top there's something called Defaults. You will only see that drop-down box if you choose something other than ebooks. I have chosen an audiobook, which makes this appear. What it does is asks you if the vendor that you're outputting, if you're creating let's say a Barnes & Noble specific book, and Barnes & Noble does not sell audiobooks, would you like to use the vendor that's your default as the link that you are sent to when you click on audiobook? So just to repeat that, Barnes & Noble does not sell audiobooks. You still want to advertise your audiobooks when you create a Barnes & Noble book. The default allows you to use the Amazon link, if you have it chosen, as the default audiobook link, even in Barnes & Noble books, even in Kobo books, even in Smashwords books. This will make it the default. And I will choose Amazon as my default for audiobooks. I'll go ahead and hit Save. Next, I will choose Author. Here, you can add a new author by clicking here. We already have two. I'll get another one in there. With Jane and John Doe, I'll add Greg Doe. I'll hit Save. If you notice, we have Amazon, Google Books, and Barnes & Noble underneath the author page links. That's because those are the three vendors that we added in. And the system here is asking you, what is the link to the author page on those various vendors? So I will just put in something as a default here. Not all vendors have author pages. For example, Google Books and Barnes & Noble, they only have search results. So for these two vendors, I searched for my author name and then pasted that link into Google Books and Barnes & Noble's author page links. You notice I put them all in the same time, and if I hit Save, they all are saved at the same time. I like to point out the Show Translations button. If we had chosen another language other than just English, when we clicked on there, we would have given the option to include that language's author page links. Now we're moving on. Next is book options. On the book options page is where you would enter your genres. So let's enter in a few genres. We'll make it humor, contemporary romance, and romantic comedy. You should know that anything you put in here will appear in your book in the back catalog section. What the system will do is list your back catalogs according to category, to genre, and list all the books underneath it. So be careful what you put here because it will appear in the books that you export to upload to Amazon and your other retailers. And if you were working in multiple languages, you would click on here and be able to enter in these same words in your translated language. Advertising has been designed so that you could enter things like official website. And there are 6 of them, so that if you wanted to make this one your Facebook page, and then let's say that you have multiple pen names, you want to make this one your official website for one of your other pen names. And like I said, you have 6 of them, so you can use them however you choose. And underneath here, I just want to point it out, is series names. You will generally add in your series names as you're entering each of your books. But if you ever wanted to delete any of them, this is where you would go to delete them. But that's all we have for right now, so I'm going to hit save. I just want to point out that when you click that box there, you'll be able to enter in all the same information for your translated language. We're moving on. Next, we have the legal. Here is where you enter your publishing company. I'll enter Rateable Publishing. Imprint name. Enter Rateable Books. Here's legal. You can copy and paste this from a Word document, and it will capture all of the same formatting, the indents or the paragraph returns. Here are your book disclaimers, and you do have 2 of them. Notice they're separated. There's a little space between those there. You can use your disclaimers for your romances if you write in romance. I'll just say that this book contains adult humor. And then if you work with Smashwords, we have already filled in the Smashwords information since it's the same for everyone. Now you can just hit save. Again, you can add in translations if you want it. But that is how you set up the back end of your My Publishing Assistant book management plugin.